So now we're going to go into our second lesson of congruent triangles. And this time we're going to learn about angle, side angle, and angle, angle, side, which are two other methods of proving triangles are congruent. So for the first one, angle, side angle, we know that two angles and the included side of one triangle are congruent to the corresponding parts of another triangle. So for these ones, I know that this angle and this angle are congruent. I know this angle and this angle are congruent. And since I know that this side, which falls between these two angles, is congruent to this side, which falls between these two angles, I can say, therefore, triangle A is congruent to triangle B by angle, side, angle. We always want to give a reason as to why they're congruent. So, angle, angle, side is the fourth one we're going to learn. So we know that two angles and the non-included side of one triangle are congruent to the corresponding parts of another triangle. So I know that this is congruent to this is congruent to this, and that this side, which does not fall between these two angles, because that would be angle, side, angle, and this side, which does not fall between these two angles, are congruent. Therefore, triangle A is congruent to triangle B by angle, angle, side. So now that we know two more ways to prove triangles are congruent, we're going to see what's going on with these triangles right here. So for the first one, I know that this angle is congruent to this angle is congruent to this angle, and this side is congruent to this side. Well, to know if we're going to use angle, side, angle, or angle, angle, side, the thing that really matters is which sides are congruent. Since this side is included between these two angles and this side is also included between these two angles, we know that we're going to use angle, side, angle, because we have an angle and a side and an angle congruent to an angle, a side, and an angle. So therefore, we're going to call this A and this B. Triangle A is congruent to triangle B by angle, side, angle. Now we have this one. We know these two angles are congruent, and this angle is congruent to this angle. Well, we don't know that any sides are congruent, but since these two triangles share this side right here, we can say that it's congruent to itself. So we have an angle, a non-included side, and another angle congruent to an angle, a non-included side, and another angle. So therefore, we'll call this C and this is D. Triangle C is congruent to triangle D by angle, angle, side. Now we have one more. So this triangle is congruent to this triangle. This angle is congruent to this angle, and they share this side. So, since this side falls between the two congruent angles, we're going to use angle, side, angle, and we can say that triangle E is congruent to triangle F by angle side angle. So next lesson we're gonna learn about the last way to prove triangles are congruent. So make sure you check it out.